Welcome to our Scrummy workshop introduction. I'll tell you a few things about the workshop so that we can start as soon as the class starts. Most of the practical work that we do in this unit is Prince2 centric, and that's fine because Prince2 is a very popular project management methodology, but we also want to give you a bit of a taste of what it might be like using an agile project management methodology. The idea here is that we will give you an idea about Scrum. But of course, that's difficult to do in the available time. So we found this paper by Kurt Schmitz, who has developed a role play scenario, and he calls it Scrummy, because it's a bit like Scrum, but it has its limitations. But the activity definitely does impress upon participants that Agile Project Management Method aims to emphasize action and feedback over planning. Schmitz proposes that groups be formed, roles assigned to various members, and information and requirements be provided to some of those members. Over a series of activities, we'll get a bit of an understanding of how the Scrum and an Agile methodology could work. Your tutor will help you divide into groups. Each one of these groups is going to be a project team working to satisfy the project owner's requirements. And because it's role play, we're going to need some roles. These are the roles: product owner, scrum master, and team members. The product owner will receive instructions from your tutor. These instructions will be the requirements for the project. It will be the product owner who explains to the team what they need. The scrum master will ensure that the team meets the time constraints for the different phases of the project and ensure that team members have volunteered for all of the required jobs. Scrum Masters don't tell people how to do their jobs, only get people to volunteer on what to do. They'll work with the product owner to decide the order that the tasks will be completed in. And the team members will decide which jobs they'd be best at or most interested in, and will volunteer to complete their part of the tasks. You don't let people tell you what to do. You choose what's of interest to you and you work on that. Once we have our roles sorted out, our roles won't change throughout the workshops. We need to start on the process. These 5 steps describe one sprint. We'll repeat this process several times throughout a workshop. One sprint will take exactly 30 minutes. The first step is the sprint planning. Your tutor will take your product owners away for the first few minutes of this to brief them on what the project is. That will be the first time that anyone in your team hears about the project. Then it will be your product owner who explains to the team what the project is. They'll work with the Scrum Master to decide what tasks are required to complete this sprint. This will take 5 minutes. The second step is the execution, where you actually do the work, and that'll take 10 minutes. After that, you do the product build. This is where you complete what you will deliver for the sprint. Remember that with an Agile project methodology, we will end up with a final product at the end of each sprint. Step 4 is when you deliver your product. In this case, you'll submit your PPT slides to Milo, and some groups will present their slides to the rest of the class, and the rest of the class will give feedback. This feedback is essential to making sure that the next round is better than the first. Step 5 is where your individual team spends 5 minutes looking at what you can do to improve. During this time, your product owner will get advice from your tutor on what happens in the next sprint. And there will be a next sprint. This continues until the project is complete. In the first sprint, you'll need to choose which roles each of you is playing, and then you'll send your product owner up to the tutor to get the requirements. Your tutor will help the Scrum Master with the timing of the first sprint. For the other sprints, the Scrum Master is in charge of timing. You're not entirely on your own, but you will be running your group in preparation for your presentation. And that's it for this video. Now you know what's going to happen in your workshop. Let's see how it goes.